Welcome back to my channel. This is DIY with Jeannie, and today we're going to work on the little golden book. Now, I've gone up and down about this, and I don't really like these, and I told you that last time. And the thing is, I show you stuff and then make changes and don't like it and things like that, because I want you to know that it doesn't always come out. And you can always go back and go, okay, I didn't like that. What can I do different? So we're going to change the way we did this a little bit. Now, first thing is we need to decide before I get started with the way I'm going to change it, because we're going to actually make a book binding. We're going to actually glue the pages on, put a cover on the back, have the fabric around it, just like you would if it was the spine of a book. So I need to decide how thick I want to make this. And we know that we have this much that is the book itself, and we do want to keep it. So we're going to cut it right about here. We're going to cut our book binding. We're going to cut the little golden part off, and that's okay. I've come to grips with it. But then all the pages don't have to be the same size. So I'm thinking about a 1/2 inch. So let's see, before we cut it, how much is a 1/2 inch. So let me move some of this paper out of the way that we're going to be using. Get our cutting board, and let's decide if a 1/2 inch is where we want it. Alright, so I'm a mess today. So a 1/2 inch would be this much. Let's go with 3/4 of an inch. I think an inch is too much. Let's go with 3/4 of an inch. So let's put it in here. We're going to match it up on that 3/4 line. Lay it down and just kind of hold it snugly. Is our 3/4 of an inch. So we are going to make the book by the inside, the signatures, that big. So we're going to have our little book will end up being that wide. And I think that's pretty good. So let's cut the little golden part off. It makes me sad, but we'll live with it. Again, because it is bent there and thinner, it doesn't want to cut on just one pass. So what I'm doing is flipping it over, flipping the opposite side, and there is our book. Let's move it out of the way. Let's clean off my little knife blade, and we will take this one off. And what I'm doing is I am lining up on my cutting edge the folded part of the book, the spine, so that I can just cut it along that edge. So I don't want to cut it anywhere else. I just want that edge off. That is off. I'm going to set it to the side. So like this. And here's the thing about our pages on the inside. The height doesn't matter, because I want multiple heights in there. I want all of our pages to be a little different. So, how big is our book? Our book is 7 7/8. So I think I'm going to keep them at 7 3/4. Let's just cut some pages. Now these are blank on the back, so they'll be perfect for embellishment, for writing, journaling on. So that is what we're going to do with them. These are also blank on both sides, but we're going to use them in different ways as well. And notice that none of these are necessarily the same size. And that's just perfectly fine. What have I done here? Let's flip him over. He is wonky on one side. 7 3/4. Quite a few pages started here, and it doesn't matter how far out they go because we'll trim that at the end. You'll see. It'll be fine. Let's just keep putting the pages in, kind of like we know what we're doing. Because, you know, that's how we do things. Where is it? Cut a 7 3/4 here. And let's see how big that is. Piece. So we're still quite a bit, we still got quite a bit of paper to keep getting together. So let's see what else we have cut. We also need our pages. So we need to cut that down a little bit. Cut all of them at the same time. I keep forgetting I don't want to cut everybody at the same time because then it would be just too big. It'd be too bulky in there. Got our pages done. That is out of the way. So we have that on there ready to go. So let's see how much thicker we need to make it. Doing good. And then we'll put the pages in an order that we like. So I am going to also include these pages, but we'll do them randomly in there. And then I have some of this, which will include. So let's see what we got here. These are the ones I got from Shein. I know you think they only sell clothes, but they don't. Cool. Okay, these are all music pages. That's cool. Let's see what we got here. Use him. I'm on the range. Bullfinch. So there's a little bit from that. Now, we'll get some of our marble paper. And it is, again, one-sided. I hate opening paper. It is. I'm always afraid I'm going to tear the paper. And I don't know why, because I can always just cut it. The paper once it's done, not the plastic. So let's do some yellow, some red. Just a few pieces of each. Let's see about green. I think green would be pretty. A couple of blue. And we're going to mix these up, so we're going to decide how to put our pages in before we glue it all down. I don't think I want to use any of the pink, so let's set that out. And this is 8.5, so we don't want 8.5. But we do want 7 3/4. So let's set that down. That down a little bit more, and that's fine. I'd rather have to cut it later than to have it not be the size I want it. And I'm sure y'all can relate to that. This 11, so that would only be 5. I'm going to do it anyway. On this one, I think I'm going to make a folder, and I'll make another red as well. So it's 11, so we're going to do it at 5.5. I'm going to take my little scoring tool. And just scored it. We have it exactly the way we want it. Let's do a red one. I know it is too big. 7 3/4 wouldn't give me enough. Let's mark it at 7. So it'll be a little shorter than the other pages, but it will give us a pocket that we can use. And we'll cut that in a minute. Let's move. Oh, I've got a couple more to cut, and then we'll move that out of our way for now. Get our finger blade. And for those of you who've never used a finger blade, it's really not hard. I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But I have found it to be not really any harder than using an X-Acto knife. You know, I thought it would be this momentous thing. I would not be able to get the hang of it. It would make me crazy. And it didn't. And that made me happy. It made me feel like I was accomplished. So let's move him out of the way. So let's look at our pages. Let's start with this one because we want to cut this one a bit. There's my finger blade. So what we want to do is cut we're just going to have to hope for the best because I do not know where my cutting board is. So we're going to cut it in a V right here. Cut it out because in a folder you have that little V in the middle. So we're just going to cut that just like so. Take the folding end, finish this bottom a little bit. And now we will glue just along the edge to keep our folder closed. I'm just going to make a puddle because I can. Way. And we'll use this little dental tool, and that is exactly what it is. You can go and spend a whole lot of money on those tools for clay. If you use polymer clay, they make all the tools for it. Or you can go to a flea market and buy old dental tools and old medical tools. And it's the same tool and probably a better quality. So that's what I did. I used to work quite a bit in polymer clay. I like, and I know this is going to sound just for most of y'all just absolutely insane, but I like making miniature stuff. I find miniature a lot easier than big. I don't know why. I just do. Now we have our little folder, close it, and now we've got a place to put little papers and things in there. So let's put the pen down. Let's look at our blue. How much too tall is that? Not that much. So we're going to leave them too big. We're going to cut it at the end, and you'll see why. So let's put him in there like so. All of my pages. We want to start our book with our little firefighter. Okay, we're going to put 2 pages in, and then we're going to put our little notebook, and then we'll put a page with our blue paper. And then let's try our orange. Another page. Going to do our little partial paper, green, another little small one, and notice there's really no rhyme or reason as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and that's kind of the point of it, is to have, they call them junk journals, and it's because you're just using whatever you happen to have on hand to put it together. And I really love that idea. These 2 here. Another page. But it's so you can go in later and just write notes and journal and put in the things that you want in there. Our music page again. Let's see if I can find another little folder. There's a little yellow folder, and we'll make a pocket and put in it in a few minutes. Another page. Let's do both pages since it says happy birthday. A little scalloped piece, not blue. And let's do this blue next to it. That'll be pretty. And we'll cut them all down at the end. Let's do the white to white. Get another page in. Another little blue one. A little partial page with that and the blue behind it. I have one's already got some stickers. It's the one that opens like so that we made. So we'll put him in like that. Put the remainder of our pages in. Here's our song. Let's get pink. And we're just going to keep adding these until we get all of our pages in. And there is no wrong way, which really is so good. And art is subjective. And I tell people this because I don't think you can't do art. You might not do art the way other people do art. It doesn't make it less art. And I'll put this one up here near the top because I think that'll be fun. Let's put a square in and we'll move it down a bit. Another folder. Let's put a green, let's put a blue in. And we'll put it backwards. And put the green forward. And our gold. Oh, we need to go back and let's put these in randomly. Let's put that in there because orange will be good there. Let's do our blue here because we got some orange that we can break up. Let's put a green one here, and we'll put that little piece of paper with it. We have another little folder journal page that we put in. And notice I'm just stacking, just randomly stacking things. Let's put the big orange in, and then the green at the top. We'll do the pink in the middle and the orange near the bottom. And now we've got our little cardboard. And so what we're going to take is take our sandwich, get it down real good, because we want all of these pages together, like so. Now what I'm going to do is take this glue and start putting it, you can't see, take it and start putting it on. And we're just going to put glue on there, and then we're going to get bulldog clips and clip it together. So give me just a second. I'm going to get the clips. Okay, I could not find my bulldog clips, so I found clothespins. Same idea. They're just not as big, and it was a little bit more difficult to put them on. But I'm going to show you because we don't have all of our glue on yet. So we are just going to put glue on, just a nice thick amount. I'm going to take this folding tool and just like if you've ever seen a bound book, it has all that glue on the edge. It's exactly what we're doing. So we've got new glue. Put it together. And this one, and do the same thing. Plenty of glue. And then we're just going to let this sit overnight, and we will come back on our Monday show, and I will show you the next part. So this is just making a regular bound book using glue, just like bookmakers do. But you want to really make sure that you get it clipped together tightly, because you want those pages to really be snug. You see how much I had to fight that to get it to let go. That tells you pretty much how tight these clothespins are. Now we will be trimming the ends, so I'm not that concerned about how much I get at the very top or bottom. But I do want to make sure I've got enough. And then we will be putting the cardboard on as well, and then a cloth layer on there as well. So there's going to be plenty to hold this whole little book together. And there we go. We got it all mooshed together. And we'll be able to trim it down later. But that is what it looks like. It's got a nice thick amount of glue on there. And we're going to let it sit. We're going to let it dry. And when we come back Monday, we will start trimming it down and getting it into the book so that it actually looks like a book. And then you can see how that whole thing comes together as what they call a junk journal. And it'll have, of course, our journaling pages in it. This is what we're going to use as the binding on the outside. So we'll have our cardboard strip in there. And then this, and we're not going to attach it there, but this will get glued onto here as soon as we're sure of the size. Be glued right on. And these will be glued on so that you can open and close. We're going to leave a good 1/8 of an inch probably so that it'll open and close, but this will go over the edges. And then I think we are probably going to add some of this lace to the outside just to dress it up, but we'll see. Since it is a fireman book, we'll see. Maybe not. May just go with it being plain. We'll have to wait and see. But that is the plan right now. So we'll let this dry and we will come back, and on Monday we'll do the next step. So thank y'all for spending your time with me today. I appreciate it, just like always. Never feel like you can't do something. Never feel like you did it wrong. You didn't do it wrong. You did it your way. And that really is what matters. So have an amazing day. Go out and craft something. Be a maker. Be a doer. And I'll see you Monday.